Alright guys, now we'll be working on the form part. So we'll be creating a new file. Let's give it form.html. Let's have our shift 1 to load our HTML document type. So this will be form HTML form. So let's go to our body and start writing our code. So we need the form, we need the form tag to start the form tag form. Now for action, we don't need the action for now. Probably when we're working in the backend, that's when we'll be working on the action. Right, so in the form tag, we need the first label for name. Then let's have the title to be name or the placeholder. Then we need the input type text. So let's open the results with our live server. Now we have this. Let's add some more inputs. Now we've done for the name. I'll add another label for email. The placeholder or the content name will be email. I'm going to be breaking this. So after the email, we need the input section for the email. Now it's not going to be text, it's going to be type email, not type text. Right, so the next part will be needing the label for okay, let's have password as well. Then the content will be password. Oh, I need to break it. Input type password. So we can see, let me add some inputs, some text. You can see the email also is expecting something at dot something. So the password is going to be dotted since it's type password. It's not going to be visible. Right, so let's continue. We need the label for number as well. This label for these 4 attributes is actually not necessary, but just to give a straight description. So phone number, type input type number. I can actually get rid of all these ID and names attributes that is in the input. So we don't need them. No, so let me break. After the number, I'm not going to save this. After the number, we need the label for the date of birth as well. So the content will be d.o.b, that's date of birth. Now I'll be adding some inputs for it as well, which is type dates. It's not going to be text, it's going to be type dates. So let's view the result in our browser. So we can see we can add our dates, and we can also input the date correctly, current date. This is the icon for the calendar. When you click on it, it's going to show the date. Right, so after the dates, we need something like we need to learn the checkbox also. But before doing the checkbox, let me have some, let me break this line twice. All right, okay, now before the checkbox, I'll allow us to check for gender. So label for gender, so this is going to be gender. Then under it we'll have the gender. We need the select button to be able to select if it's either a male or a female. Let me just get rid of this name for now. Gender. Then inside our select, we need the option. The first option should be value female. Then the content will be female. Let me just replicate this. Then others. For others. So let me view the result in our browser. Let's view the result. So we have the gender, we have the select button where we can select be it a male, female, or others. So after the gender section, we need the checkbox section. So to do that, let me just add some, let's have something like H4 saying marital status. Okay, before the marital status, let's have, since it's a checkbox, let's have hobbies. Yeah, hobbies. Now after the hobbies, we need the input type checkbox. Now before that, I think I need to have let me have a span. So the first hobby will be, let's have football. I'm going to be replicating this: football, swimming, this should be dancing, and should be running. So we have everything to have type check box. So when we go to our browser and refresh and reload it and check out, we'll see that we have checkboxes. So our hobbies can be we can have more than one hobby as much as we want. So it's something that you might love football and also love swimming, and even you can also like dancing as well. It's something that you can check for more than one property. So after that, we need to learn the how to use the how to check on. After that, we need to check on the marital status. So the next part of the form input is the radio. So let me have H4 saying marital status. So I'll have a span again saying married. Okay, let me start with single. Then the input type will be type radio. Input type radio. Then the name will be empty, which is marital status. Let me replicate this, duplicate it using Shift Alt down. The next one, I'm just going to edit it. The next one will be married. After the married, we need probably divorced as well. Divorced, single, married, and divorced. Yeah, I think we are good. So let's have another one: engaged, probably in a relationship. Engaged. So let's view the results. Now we have this. In the marital status, you can check out or to click only one properties. You can't be married and still be single. It's not possible. And you can't be single and still be able to check engaged. It won't work that way. This is working because of the name. We must have the same name for every checkbox, for every radio input. So after that, we need to learn how to use the button, how to create the button tag. So the button is going to be as simple as saying button btn. Then the type will be type submit. So I'll be having what? Submit. Or let's have content to be click click here to submit. So we'll go to our browser, we can see it's showing, it's a button. So I'll be breaking it as well from this part. So another way we can we can do button. Another way of doing button is to use the input type. So it's going to be input type button, but the button we want to do is a reset button. So I'm just going to say input type reset. Then name is not necessary, so I'll just add the value, say value, and reset. Say what? Reset form. Boom. It's also a type of button. So using the first one, which is submit, when I finish my submitting, keep submitting my when I'm done with the form, when I submit, it's going to send to wherever I want it to send to, but we are only working on the front end, it's not going anywhere. And as for the reset as well, probably maybe if I should make a mistake and want to reset, I can click on reset, it's going to reset it. But there's one more important thing I want us to note. We shouldn't be able to submit an empty form. Like as I'm submitting, is going, let's have a name here, and it's when I click on submit, it's going to submit. Let's add a property where we won't be able to submit an empty form. So to do that, you have to come to the input section and have the required attribute. We need to do that for email, password, and phone number as well. So we're adding the required attribute. So when I click on submit, it's going to tell us that fill out this field. When I do that, click on submit, telling me okay, fill out this field. Now type email is telling us please include an @ in the email address dot something 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 is missing. So it's the name is missing an @ okay, let me add an @ okay, saying okay, after adding an @ it's telling me that please enter the part @. So it's expecting something dot something at something dot com. So let's click on submit. It's still telling us to fill out this form. Yeah, so we need to, after filling it out, yes, we can add, then submit if it's valid. All right guys, so that's that on form, and I hope we all understood it. So we're working after this is where we'll be handling our HTML section. So we'll be starting with our CSS section tomorrow. Then we'll be styling this CSS. This is our form to help us with our CSS skill. All right guys, so that's that. I'll see you guys in the next class.